Hey, it's Heidi. Welcome back for another video. I'm really glad you're here. I really wanted to take some time to think about a video that I knew would serve you so well during these difficult times right now. And I thought, well, what's the main question, right, that everybody wants to know? What's the main thing that we all want to know? And it's like, I want to know how to make my dreams come true, right? I want to know how to be happier. I want to know how to have the love I deserve or the life I deserve or the happiness that I deserve. And so you're in the right place if you want the formula for happiness, the formula for success. And I know lots of people have formulas on success and happiness, right? Lots of people do, but likely you've been coming to these videos because you're getting value here. I have something and am able to say it in a way to you that's landing, that's resonating. And I know today I have a very special training for you that if you apply it and if you take notes and if you really listen to what I'm saying to you, you could start to turn things around immediately in your life. And so we're going to get right to it. Well, this video is going to be a longer video. It's actually a training that I'm going to give to you today. Instead of like a short little topic, I'm going to give you the overarching kind of principles that you need to apply in your life if you're going to have what you deserve. So let's first just discover, are you in the right place? Is this the right video for you today? You know, your time is valuable. Is this going to be a good decision for you to stick it out and watch? Well, let's see. Are you full of anxiety? You have things that you want to create in your life, but there's a time right now where you're not sure what's what. You know, you're very anxious about the future. You don't know if things are going to happen the way you want them to or how they're going to happen. You are confused. You don't know what the heck you should do. You're on the fence about something. You don't know. Should you leave? Should you stay? Should you make the move or not? If you have resentment, you're in the right place. If you're in some kind of situation where you know darn well you're settling, you're sucking it up, you're self-sacrificing, you're in the right place. If you're in pain, you're in the right place. If you're in a situation and you know you kind of need to get out of it and you're not, and you keep getting hurt over and over again, I'm going to give you the formula today. Or if you're lonely, and I know it's a lonely time right now, so that makes a lot of sense, right? However, it's not just about the people in our lives, because you and I both know you could feel lonely in a room full of people, right? You could feel more alone next to the person that you're supposed to be with than you've ever felt, ever. So I want to make sure that you know you're in the right place. Can you relate to any of those scenarios? Are you settling? Are you self-sacrificing? Are you sucking it up? Or how about this S? Are you self-sabotaging? Do you get some kind of results, but then you just wait for the other shoe to drop so much that you bring the shoe to you? Let's dive in. Why should you listen to me? Okay, what do I have? Like, who am I? Who the hell am I to give you the success formula in life, right? And you look around, you go, well, and you should, with every teacher, you should go, do they have what I want? Because a teacher can only take a student as far as she's gone herself, okay, period. A leader can only take a follower as far as they've gone. And we have a lot of people we follow in life that we don't really want what they have, or what they have isn't real, okay? So in order for you to know, are you with the right teacher today, I think it's important you know how far I've come, where I've been to get to the place that I am now. And so I've overcome a lot in my life. I've had a lot of trauma, a lot of dysfunction, a lot of abuse. I've sexual assault in my relationships, abusive relationships. I mean, you name it. I have run the gamut of things to have to overcome in my life. But I'm going to tell you, the biggest obstacle in my life was me. It was this sinking feeling constantly of not being enough, not having enough of whatever in order to make my dreams real or attract a relationship that I really wanted. And it all kind of came to a head in 2008. We had a crisis, a financial crisis. And I found a lot of my value back in those days from outside success, right? If I'm going to give you the success formula, what does that mean? Well, back in the day, if you would have asked me, I thought it was about the money, honey. I wanted to make it rain. But here's the truth. I had a lot of money and I knew how to make money and I knew how to make other people a lot of money. So money was never an issue for me. Unfortunately, I was very successful, but I was completely empty inside. I didn't have the relationship that I want. I was always chasing people that didn't want to be with me, trying to talk them into it. I was lonely, isolated, anxious, depressed, and I was self-medicating. I found myself in 2008, I had been making all that money, so it was easy for me to pretend that I was happy or pretend I was okay. I could buy another bag, right? But when that all got stripped away in the financial crisis, I was left kind of like just with myself. And like, what do I really believe about myself when the money's not coming in? What do I really believe about myself when the title's not there at work, or I lose that job, or I lose that positioning in life? What do I really feel? And a lot of you are in the same position, okay? Where you've lost something of value to you, or you're holding on to that one thing. So for me, I lost everything. I actually, got on a plane from Beverly Hills where I was living, and I was running an international matchmaking company at that time, and it folded, went under. So got on an airplane and flew home to Westover, West Virginia. And I was standing at the bottom of the hill, getting my bags, rolling my Louis Vuitton luggage up the way to my dad's house, ramshackle, shickety shack of a house on the top of a hill in Westover, West Virginia, Miller Hill to be exact. And listen, I don't mean to not sound grateful, because I could always go home. So that was really good. But home wasn't, it wasn't a good scene. All right. I rolled that luggage in past the 15 cats and the beer stained carpets and the nicotine stained walls and the smoke and the shit that was everywhere. And my dad, when he was drunk, had tried to light the kerosene heater and almost caught the house on fire. So there was black soot on the ceiling and still everywhere. And it was dirty and nasty, right? And I remember just rolling into the back bedroom. Here I am, putting my stuff down and going, what happened? How did I get here? How did I spend my whole life trying to accomplish goals and be something only to go, I have absolutely nothing to show for it? I was alone. I was in my 30s. I was single. I just ended a relationship, lost that job. I was 25 pounds overweight because I ate my feelings, and I had a compulsive eating problem. All right. I just would eat compulsively to numb that pain. And I was hungover because if I wasn't using food to self-medicate, I was using alcohol and having too much wine to kind of numb out whatever was really going on. But here I was, my demons, I had to confront it all because it all came crashing down around me. And it was that pivotal moment, right? You all have, that come to Jesus moment where you're like, something has got to give. Maybe you're there now, where you're looking around and you don't know where that money's going to come or if it's going to be sustainable. You're thinking, man, I wish I would have started that business all that time ago, or I wish I was in control of my own finances, or not relying on somebody else to take care of me because they're not taking care of me, or man, I wish I didn't have to do this alone right now. I had all those feelings. Me too, girl, same. Me too, guy, same. Okay, I can relate, and I know you can too. So it was that pivotal moment where I was like, all right, man, never again. What do I really want? And what am I just no longer willing to settle for? And I had to get really clear about it. And I needed to do a lot of things. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you don't have so many obstacles to overcome, but I did. I had a drinking problem that I didn't want to acknowledge. I was drinking way too much. I had an eating disorder that I was like, oh God, how am I going to ever manage that? I couldn't imagine ever making peace with food and not cramming Oreos in my face and then crying about it, or digging the cake out of the trash because it was on the top and eating the rest of it, right? Throwing it away, putting coffee grinds on it so I wouldn't eat it, but digging it out anyway. Calling that guy after I'd had a couple glasses of wine, professing my undying love, just confused about why he didn't want me and can I make him want me. I had a lot of things. Not being in charge of my own finances, having other people's businesses feeding me, and when those businesses went under, I went under too. All right, so things needed to change. And, when I was thinking about what the hell am I going to do? How am I going to get there? I've always known that I was a coach, right? And I was a coach for many, many years, even when my life was falling apart, right? I was still coaching. Your life doesn't have to be perfect necessarily to be helping other people. But I certainly was out of integrity because I was teaching about relationships, and it was out of integrity because I could help people get in them. But the relationship that I needed to be focusing on was the one with ourselves, right? Because that's the relationship that's causing the most struggle and the most pain. But I didn't know that perspective at the time, so I had to come up, take an aerial view, and change my life. And I spent the next several years going to work in my life. And I've come up, excuse me, I've come up with a system in order to help you do the same thing in your life, to turn it around, a step-by-step system. So the first thing we need to do, step one, okay, in the system, and I can say on the other side, you're looking and go, do I want what she has? Well, I can tell you how far I've come. I haven't had a drink of alcohol of any mood, mind altering substance for 10 years. It's been a decade since I've had a drink. I have made peace with my body and with food. I know how to eat an Oreo and not the entire sleeve, okay? I know what foods nourish my body. I practice intuitive eating. I manifested and created and allowed and attracted the relationship that I'd always wanted. I got married. I wanted a child. I was able to release whatever was holding me back and create a family. And then the final step was creating a business on my terms. We always say I want to work because I want to, not because I have to. Well, you feel like you have to make that money when you're doing something you don't really want to do. But when you're doing what you love, even if you have to pay the bills, it doesn't feel like work because you want to do it. It lights you up. And so, am I in a multi-millionaire position right now? No. Am I fully fulfilled in my life and totally content? Am I going to put a picture of me in front of a Lambo or getting on a private plane and make you want that? No, because that's not what lights me up. What lights me up is true love, a family, a healthy body image, a peaceful state of mind that's not a slave or a prisoner to a substance, a person, place, or thing, and a relationship where I don't guess how somebody feels about me on a daily basis. I love myself now no matter what. I don't get shaken off my axis when somebody comes into my world and attempts to turn it upside down. I'm rooted in myself. I know what I'm worth. I know my value. So if you want that and you would love to have that, then let's go. Let's get to work. Okay, so step one, I want you to think about yourself as a farmer in your life, okay? When you're a farmer in your life, that's how you reap the harvest of life. That's how we all want an abundant life. We have abundance meditations. What does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna have an abundance meditation. Well, you can have an abundance mindset, but you gotta know how to be a farmer. You gotta know how to create the harvest, how to sow the seeds and do the dang thing so that you can have the thing that you really want. So step one, and when you're a farmer, is you're in the land, okay? You have the land, and you're the land. Your mind, your body, your spirit is your land that you own. So, but you're a farmer. Let's take it outside of ourselves. And you're looking out at the land, and you're casting the vision. The very first thing that you need to do if you're going to have a happy life is figure out what the fuck a happy life is. What do you want? What do you really, really want? So if you look at the land and you want to plant, you make your own farm. If I'm making the farm, I'm like, I'm going to have a flower garden here. I'm going to have a koi pond over there. Man, I want a swimming pool on my farm too, next to the apple tree with a grotto. And I'm going to plan it out. But I can ask you, I say, what do you want on your farm? And you're like, well, Johnny likes potatoes. And Susie likes watermelon, but Bob definitely doesn't like apples. You go into what everybody else wants on their dang farm instead of what you really want. So a lot of the people that I help have no idea what they want. They have been people pleasing, serving other people their entire lives, and when it comes to like, what do I want? I don't know. So for you, that clarity has to be the very first thing. In order to cast a vision. John Maxwell has this great quote about, in life, this story, right, where these people are going to clear the bush in a jungle, and you've got the producers down there hacking away at the bush, and they're clearing away at the bushes and things and making a path, and the managers are behind them going, good job, here's how you can do better, and the supervisors are supervising the managers going, well, here's how you can be more efficient with your people. But the leader is the one that climbs the tallest tree, surveys the land, and goes, wrong jungle. What are you farming on your farm? Is it the wrong jungle? Is it like your life? Have you been climbing a ladder in your life that the whole dang time's been leaning against the wrong wall? That's what happened with me. I was building my life of success and titles and money when I really realized what I wanted. It was a cheap substitute for true fulfillment. So what really lights you up? What nourishes your body? If you're going to nourish yourself, you need to know what foods to plant. Okay, what crop brings you the best reward? What do you enjoy canning and putting away on the farm? Okay, what do you want to, if you're going to toil in your life, it better be something that you want to put the work into. All right, so casting the vision is the first step. So after you do that, after you cast the vision, you have to then survey the land. That's step number 2, is survey the land. Now, this might be a new farm to you. You might have been so used to living outside of yourself, you have no idea what you're working with. But as a farmer, you need to know, where does this get the best sun? Where's the shady spots? What's this composition of the soil like here? What grows best in this environment of where I live? What doesn't do so well where I live? And for you, okay, that's cultivating an awareness of yourself that you likely have never had. When you're going to survey your land, before you plant a harvest, before you plant a crop, before you clear out the brush, you've got to see what the hell's going on. And when I work with my clients, they first come to me and they tell me what they think is going on. And when I work with somebody, there's like a movie screen. It's playing behind them of their life. And I could see the real stuff that they're not telling me that's really going on. It's like, I know their soil better than they know. Why is that the case, that I would know my clients at first better almost than they know themselves? It's because they've been putting all their energy into knowing everybody else before they know themselves. What I've discovered actually is it's not our fault. When we're growing up, especially if you grew up in a toxic household, a dysfunctional household, you're extremely used to trying to scramble and be who you need to be, almost like a chameleon, in order to get the love, affection, or attention that you crave. And so you really take on, that's your first experience with putting on a personality. I call those attachment personality patterns, or apps. And you download an app and you put that mask on and you go through your life, and at first it works great. You develop an app of being a people pleaser. So you do what everybody else needs to do, wants you to do. You develop an app of being a controlling person, where you want to make sure that you're in charge of everything all the time. So you become compulsively self-reliant. You don't trust anybody else. You develop an app of a withholder. Everybody else needs to get some, but there's not enough to go around. You have a lack mentality. All these patterns can be found in my program that I run called Love Yourself First Empowerment School, where we learn, okay, what pattern are you? What app did you download? All right. So after you survey the land and you go, that's the land I'm working with. I got a clear picture now of the soil, of the conditioning, of the attachment personality pattern. Then you move into clearing the land. Okay. After you survey the land, now you got to prepare the land to plant the crop. How do you prepare the land? Well, as a farmer, you get out there and you start digging up some shit, right? You start digging up the what are you digging? You're digging up pulling the roots up, the old stuff, right? That was there before. Maybe another person had the land and didn't take care of it, right? Maybe that was you. You didn't take care of it. And there's old stuff you don't even know about. Sometimes you're digging around in there, and this happened to me. I was getting ready to plant some things in my backyard, and I started to dig, and I was like, what the heck? There was this big, thick root, and it was underneath bricks even. I was like, how the hell did that happen? And I'm starting to pull, and I'm digging up, and I'm like, oh my God, this thing goes the whole way to Texas. This goddamn root is so long. And so I start digging it up, and then as I pull it up, I go, shit, that's the cable. All right. Sometimes you might have worked with another therapist or another coach or been in a program and where they've been digging around in there and trying to find the root of what's going on with you, and they weren't qualified to do it. And they think they've got the root when they're not even close. They're not even on the same page. I know for me, I have a lot of clients, okay, that come to me. It's not their first rodeo. They've been to other programs. They've been in self-development. One of my clients who went through my program, she went through life school. She had some personal coaching, and now she's becoming a coach herself. I'm certifying her in these modalities. And she'd been on the path for decades before she came to me and been doing all this work. And finally, within 12 weeks of working together, she got the real root. She uprooted it. And it's like, oh my God, right? Holy cow. So you have to know, when you work with a qualified person who knows to see the roots and what the roots are, and then teaches you what the weeds are, right? So I root it. I'm going to help you root it up. But then part of that also is pulling out the weeds around, pulling out the things that aren't good. And for you, that might be in your life, getting rid of some people in your life if you're going to be successful, if you're going to be happy. It might be pulling up some negativity. They could be beliefs that you have, people that you know, places that you reside that aren't good for you, or things, people, places, or things that are strangling your success, your opportunity to have a successful crop. So you have to clear the land, and you can only do so much. You can only do so much. Sometimes the decisions that you need to make about what to clear, you don't know what's a weed and what's not a weed. Is that a weed or a beautiful flower? I don't know, but I can help you distinguish the difference between those things, because sometimes it appears to be one thing and it's something totally different. All right? So gaining that insight is huge. So after you cast a vision of your farm, you survey the land and see what you're working with. Okay? You clear the land and prepare the land to get the crop going. The fourth thing you do is sow the seeds. Now, if you're a farmer, and we're going to play this analogy the whole way home, you have to know what you're planting. You have to sow the seeds. Here's where the corn goes. Here's where the trees go. Here's where the flowers go. You have to know what you're planting, okay? Because you're going to hopefully reap what you sow, right? What are you sowing is, once you root up this old way of behaving, you figured out who you've been behaving as, that's been holding you back in your life, you root it up at the cause. You then get to decide what new things you're going to plant. And sometimes people don't like the new thing you're planting. All right, they have opinions. They like the old crop. They like the old way. They're not going to be fans of this new thing. And you have to be very steadfast about knowing how you're going to sow those seeds. What seeds do you sow? Well, you sow the seeds of belief, okay, and you sow the seeds of positivity. You sow the seeds with your words, but most importantly, with your boundaries. You sow the seeds. You teach people how to treat you. You learn that with me, okay? But the most important thing you sow is your self-love. You sow seeds of self-love. That's why I created the Love Yourself First Empowerment Program. There are 7 seeds of self-love that we sow if we want to reap a harvest in our life, okay? The 7 self-love seeds, okay? They bear the fruit. They bear the fruit. What fruit? Money, relationships, success, fulfillment, freedom. That's the fruit you bear, but you have to know what seeds to sow. And most people confuse self-love seeds. They're like, what the hell is a self-love seed? A bath? Oh, I sowed a seed today. I took a bath. I sowed a seed today. I got a manicure. I sowed a seed today. I got my hair done. Honey, no, you just went and got your hair done, took a bath, and went to the salon. Okay, but nothing had changed, because I don't know about you, but I did all that stuff and still wasn't sowing any seeds, getting shit crop. Okay, getting the wrong people coming over to me. That's the shit crop we sow. We sow crappy seeds. We reap crappy fruit. Okay, people that don't want to treat us less than we deserve. Relationships that abandon us, feeling rejected by people picking on us at work, or feeling like we're not getting what we want, okay? Or being blindsided in our relationships, all right? That's a result of your seeds. That is a fruit of the seeds you've been sowing in the past, okay? Plain and simple. So what seeds do we sow? Well, if I say to you, do you love yourself? Most days you'll be like, yeah, I feel. Research shows that we actually do tend to feel better about ourselves than worse. That's the truth. There's a study at Yale done that shows that. So we're not all walking around going, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit. That's really not the case. We're like, I look good. You know, that Instagram picture, everybody goes, what is up with that? Is this a face that anybody actually makes in real life? Is it? Because if it is, I hate it. I think it's so ridiculous. It's like, let's just be real. Anyway, I digress. Love is not a feeling. Love is a verb. Love is not something you feel. Love is something you do. So when I say to you, love yourself, and you say, yeah, I feel good today, it's not even on the same ballpark. Did you do the things today? Did you sow the seeds of self-love? And in my program, okay, and if you join us, that'd be great. We'd love to have you. What some of the seeds we sow is sowing the seed every day of speaking my truth. That's a spiritual practice. That's something that we have to learn how to do. I had to learn how to speak my truth. We sow the seeds of boundaries. We sow the seeds of receiving. and having an abundance mindset and allowing and receiving. That's a skill. We sow the seeds of trust. We sow the seeds of learning how to trust and demonstrate trust in our daily lives. Okay? We sow the seeds of enough. If I'm going to practice enough, what does it look like? How do I know what's enough? We sow the seeds of our intuition, of tapping into our intuition and aligning with our spiritual highest calling and our absolute knowing and our higher self. That's a practice. Those are seeds. Those are things, not feelings. Things we do, not ways we feel. Okay? Self-love is not a freaking feeling. It's a verb. We've got to do it. And those are the seeds that we consistently have to sow. Okay? So after we sow the seeds, the last step, if you're going to have a successful life, so let's just review, okay? The first thing you did was figure out what the heck you really wanted. And if you're with me, we're going to do that together. We're going to end all confusion once and for all. Some of you make decisions half-cocked. You think you want one thing, it's not what you really wanted. You go back, you don't know, you vacillate, okay? So getting clarity has to be number one. The second thing we need to see is, who are you? Know thyself. When you know yourself, anything else, you can do anything else. You can accomplish, but you have to really know, how have you been behaving? Okay, what's your role in all this? Okay, and then you got to root that shit up. Got to see, all right, here's where it came from. Ping, pull it up. Get rid of it so I never behave that way again. I'm not on autopilot anymore in my own life, pushing my self-destruct button without even realizing how I'm doing it. Tolerating and not realizing what I'm doing. Okay, we get off. What I do is make the unconscious conscious. I turn the lights on, honey, and once you live in the light, you never are in the dark again. All right, the lights come on. That's it. So after you do that, you root it up. You sow new seeds. Those are those 7 self-love seeds. Those 7 vows that we take to put a ring on it to ourselves. Actually, this is mine. This is my promise ring to myself. Okay. It's my favorite color, this Cookie Monster blue. All right. So we put a ring on it and we say, that's it, and then we go to everything else. All right. That's not for us. And then the last thing we do is we now need to know how to navigate the seasons. Okay. The seasons are, farmers understand the weather, they understand the seasons, they understand the nature of change, they know how to navigate. And for you, once you go through this process with me, once you go through all these steps, you then need to learn how to navigate life. Is life a perpetual fall? What are the seasons? Winter, spring, summer, fall. You learn with me what each season is and what's the purpose of each season. And more importantly, how to know when you're in the season, what season you're in, how to shorten the season, okay? Or how to survive the season that you're in and not throw it all for naught. But that's how we live a life that is perpetually rewarding. That's how we reap the harvest over and over. We create a cycle of success because we know how to weather the storms and we know how to be in the situation. We know what to do in a winter. When a fall comes, we know how to prepare for a winter. We know in the winter how to get ready for the spring. And we know in the spring, a farmer understands the seasons and they don't miss the opportunities to sow the seeds, to weed the garden. You have to know what season you're in. And I can help you do that. In fact, I want to help you do that. I want to help you do that. When I talked about I don't want to work because I have to. I want to work because I want to. This is what this is. This is me being so passionate about the road that I've taken, right? And been to the other side now, created this life that lights me up, that fulfills me. And I want the same for you. Instead of asking questions in your life, like the questions I used to ask, which is like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I make shit work in one area but not other areas? Like, what's the problem here? I want you to ask a new questions like, how good can you stand it? How good can you let it get? That's a quality question. Okay, that's a quality problem to have. And I want to help you have higher quality problems if you're going to have them at all. And you are. All right, we're not going to eradicate them all, but we're going to know how to navigate. There's a problem in summertime, bugs, weeds, but we know what to do. There's a problem in wintertime, sometimes scarcity, lack. We know what to do. There's a problem in spring. It's a short season. I got to get to work. We know what to do. I want to help you do it. So, Life School is that systematic approach. It is the system that I've just been describing. The first thing we do is get absolute clarity. We look at your history. We look at all of your relationships. We make the unconscious conscious. We define your particular attachment personality pattern. We figure out what it is, we created something called the insana cycle, which is your belief behavior cycle around this personality pattern. You're gonna have so much self-awareness now. It's like and I'm gonna tell you, once you understand yourself, you understand everybody else. You understand it all, because it all starts here. Then we rip it up. I have this process that I created called the Rapid Transformation Method, RTM. And RTM is a 7-step process to eradicate the root. That alone changes people's lives. When I certify coaches, they're like, okay, we're going to learn that process now, because they can't wait to do it on their clients, because that's the one that the aha moments come where you go, oh my God, I feel like all the pieces of my life finally fit together and I finally understand it all. It's really miraculous. It really is. And then we learn those 7 self-love seeds. And we learn how to sow them in our lives. We learn how to set boundaries, speak our truth, live in the present moment, follow our intuition, put down the bad habits that are self-destructive, right? Stop settling, and create and attract the relationships we deserve, the happiness that we want, the life that we really desire. All right? If that sounds like you're picking up what I'm laying down, okay? You're bagging what I'm mowing, all right? You're smelling what I'm stepping in, all right? I want you to send me a message. I want you to go over to Love Coach Heidi, or I want you to go get signed up right now. And don't waste another goddamn day, okay? Don't waste any more time. You can come to these videos and you're going to get some insight, but you're not going to get the work, all right? And so your investment in Life School, Love Yourself First Empowerment School, isn't for necessarily the information. It's for the implementation. Okay, it's one thing to know what I'm telling you. It's another thing to have me come alongside you and help you do the damn thing. Okay, the greatest gap in life is between knowing and doing. It's not education you need, it's implementation that you need. Let me help you apply this stuff in your life, okay, so that you actually see results consistently. And then, who knows, maybe you'll even become a coach and you'll pay it forward to the next person. So if you know you want to get started, go to LYFE, LYFE now.org, lifenow.org. And if you're watching this video and you've got some extra resources laying around and you want to scholarship somebody, go on and do that. Send me a private message. Say, oh, I'm going to sign somebody else up. I have lots of people who would love to go through this program and might not necessarily have the resources. Right now, it's half off. And you will find that investment on LYFE Now, LYFE now.org. So go ahead and sign up if that sounds like you're ready to change your life. You're ready to go to the next level, all right? I love you. I know this video is helpful. I want you to apply, but sometimes we need help implementing. Okay, I get it. That's what the program's for. It's a 12-week video that comes to you in a private members only thing. Okay, once a week the videos get released to you, and then every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern we get together in a private classroom where I am guiding you personally through it. It's a semi-private place. I cap it off. I don't have a ton of people in there. There's just an intimate crew of us, and we get to the bottom of your stuff. Okay, it's a safe environment. You're going to fall in love with the other people in that program, I promise, because like attracts like, and we're going to get to work. All right, I love you. I'll see you really soon. Take great care. Bye.